Hello, 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 and welcome to Redefine the Significance of You Time for You, by you, because of you. My name is Denise Drinkwalter, and I am a midlife renewal coach supporting women worldwide to lean into and realize the importance of you. This channel aims to provide you, the viewer, with some takeaways that are going to help you shift, change, reevaluate, and or become way more aware of what is possible for you. We have a variety of incredible guests that share their life experiences, helping them to become the incredible human beings that they are today. And I can't wait to share our next guest very soon. Every one of us has had that infamous free time where we feel guilty, wrong, or embarrassed for taking out time for yourselves. Well, we are here to help you change that and show you what is possible for you when you take time for you, by you, because of you. It really, really, really is an absolute honor and a privilege to welcome to a true beacon of expertise and empowerment in the realm of women's health, Dr. Teo, the trusted menopause authority for high achieving women. With over a decade of unwavering dedication to her field, Dr. Teo has become a seasoned expert, impacting the lives of over 30,000 women. Her journey is marked by a commitment to understanding and addressing the unique challenges faced by women during perimenopause and menopause. Through her personalized approach, Dr. Teo tackles the debilitating symptoms caused by hormonal shifts with precision and care. From hot flashes to brain fog, mood swings, sleep disturbances, she guides her clients towards a path of empowerment, equipping them with the knowledge and personalized strategies needed to navigate this transformative period with grace. I am excited to delve into invaluable insights and wisdom that Dr. Teo brings to the table today. Let's get ready and be inspired, empowered, and equipped with the tools to thrive in every aspect of our lives. Thank you so much for joining us today. Great to have you.
Thank you so much, Denise. It's a great pleasure to be with you and your audience.
I cannot begin to imagine how complex and yet how you can begin to create plans that help women with the care and the devotion they need to understand the whole journey of perimenopause and menopause. How in the world does somebody become so entrenched and so ingrained in this pivotal work, absolutely incredible work that has to happen? How did this happen for you? How did you become an authority in this work?
Well, I have to say, embarrassingly so, that it was self-interest. It started there. So it depends on where you want me to, if you want me to expand more. But yeah,
please.
Okay. Well, like I said, embarrassingly so, I'm a physician and I have been, decades long experience. And like everybody else, I'm at work doing my, usual thing, trying to get ahead of the 8 ball when I have this strange sensation. And it was like, what's that? I didn't know. So I left it alone. Another one hit about 30 minutes later. Okay, fine, move on. The third one hit. And I had to pay attention because it was disrupting my thought, my thought patterns. It was just distracting my work. I couldn't, if this kept on going, I was in trouble, in shorter words. So I sat back and, the medical thing, you go through it, you say, what could be happening? Well, it's not enough to send me to the emergency room, that's for sure. It doesn't sound urgent, but it is, in my face. And I started thinking, going through what I knew. And all of a sudden, I started putting it together and realized that the last 3 or so years of feeling exhausted, of not sleeping well, and I used to be a good sleeper, and of putting on weight. I was a skinny thing before, and I had started putting on weight, the tops were hanging outside. I was using the belt. I was trying all kinds of diets that I'd never had to do before. And it suddenly dawned on me putting this together. And I thought, oh, heck, this must be menopause. Now, this is in spite of the fact, like I said, that must have been a hot flush. Because even though it wasn't hot, it wasn't a flash. It was what was, to me, symptoms of a hot flush, what you try and represent with a hot flush. So that began the journey. And the journey was over 5 years solid of trying all kinds of things. I actually took the conventional medical advice. I went to go and see a gynecologist, and they put me on hormone treatment pills. And I thought that should do it. That's the conventional, you're good. Blessing. Say, you're good. 9 months later, I'm still not sleeping well. I'm still tired, and I'm on higher and higher doses of the hormones. So much so, I was talking one day to a male colleague, and what's the matter with you? And I explained, menopause. At that time, you're not shy about saying these things. And he was an ER doctor. It's not as if he was kind of like a gynecologist or anything like that. And he says, those doses are too high. And I thought, oh, heck, I hadn't been paying attention. I was just wanting to get better.
Right.
So I said, this has to stop. How do I stop it? Luckily, during that time, as I tailed off the hormones, I had been looking at all the methods, and I tried everything in sight. You name it, I tried it. I tried, homeopathy. I tried acupuncture, acupressure, energy healing, essences, oils. You name it, I tried it. I was guinea pig number one. And I discovered that most of those things didn't work. But then I discovered that tweaking some things, and later on, if it's relevant, I can go into some of them. I started realizing that as I was tapering off those hormones, I was getting back to normal. Those things that I had been doing had now been taking over. And in fact, hormones may have gotten in the way. And so that was one of those oh, okay. I probably did not need hormones either to start with or for the long term, but certainly not for the long term. But maybe to take the edge off the immediate symptoms, yes. But as a continuing measurement, it did not work for me. So that was the story in a nutshell.
Isn't that incredible? Somebody who is as well-versed as yourself.
Supposedly.
Right? And it's just so fascinating to me. I'm so glad that you decided I need to do something, because I know there are a lot of women who just go, well, this is life. This is how it has to be. And you're telling us it is not how it has to be.
No, it for me, it wasn't an option. I had a career that I enjoyed. I really loved what I did. I used to come off holidays and thinking, oh, what's next? And I couldn't see, and I had things I wanted to do that I had not finished doing. As long as I'm breathing, I wanted to do something. I wanted to enjoy my life. And if I listened to the various people out there, it's like your life is over. You're going downhill. You're going to be on the shelf. All kinds of depressing things. And I didn't, that depressing thing just didn't merge with my spirit. I just did not feel that that was something that applied to me, or I needed to adopt. And of course, you go to people who say, and other people have told me, they go to their doctors and say, it's normal, suck it up. What do you expect? You're menopausal. And it's like giving you a death sentence way before you got 40, 50 years ahead of you. Why do you want to live in that kind of, depressive state? So, yeah. I realized I had to look up, because they don't teach you anything in medical school about menopause beyond hormones are going down. You get to a stage where periods stop, and that is it. They don't teach you the mechanics, which was not even kind of like, okay, women have, they don't care what the woman has. It's just a pure academic exercise. They just look at us as, okay, the hormones are going down. 12 months later, it's called menopause. She's postmenopausal. That's the interest we had in medical school. Maybe 1 hour. Maybe.
Wow.
So that's why I said it's embarrassing, because people would think that I should have known better. And that's, yeah. So let me just step a bit, because the camera is wobbly.
It's okay. You look fabulous. You look great. So, with all of that being said, there are people who are going to be watching and going, okay, so in my case, what do I need to pay attention to in order to understand more of what's going on inside my body? And what are my options? What can I do
Mm.
besides or plus getting medical assistance? How do I know what I do? Is there anything you can share with us there?
Yeah, I can basically say that, first of all, validate your feelings. Don't allow anybody to
Mm,
persuade you that what you're feeling is not real or is not valid or has no value. If you're feeling off and you're going to see one doctor and he ignores you and you're still feeling like crap, either find that another one who is going to spend the time and understand you, or some other provider who is going to get to the roots of your problem. You are not feeling like crap for no reason. There
right.
is a reason. Even if, as most people would think, most of us women say, oh, it must be stress because I'm doing so much. It's not, because you have been through that and you know when your body is going
Mm,
through changes. So that's my first thing. Don't accept they hand you antidepressants and make you feel as if, there's something wrong with you. And you say,
yeah,
this is a natural phenomenon for all women if you live
yeah.
long enough. Don't allow anybody to belittle you or make it tell you it's nothing. Don't allow it. And the thing about menopause, thankfully, is if you don't have any other serious problems, you don't actually need a doctor to tell you it's menopause.
Mm,
You shouldn't. By the time you
thank
start
you.
feeling, your periods are changing, they're either getting lighter or heavier or irregular, usually. You are feeling exhausted, you can't sleep, even before you get, because there's this period before you get to hot flashes, which is the 2 or 3 years I was telling you about. Before
Right.
you get a hot flash, most women know, okay, this must be it. Before then, all those symptoms that you may attribute to being tired or being stressed out are the same things. Pay attention. Pay attention to the fact that your periods are heavy. They may be getting irregular, that you're feeling so tired all the time that all the coffees in the world don't seem to work, that you can't sleep very well. And you are discovering that you're having these moments where either mood swings and you're moving from one mood to the other and no explanation. You just have this outburst and it was like, that's not me. Where did that come from? Those
Mm,
kind of things. And you add weight gain to it. Then you begin to say, hey, pay attention, because there are many more symptoms, of course, but
of
that
course.
combination of various symptoms should be the trigger to tell you that, hey, perimenopause is happening. And perimenopause, by the way, is a recent word. So I use them interchangeably because previously we never had anything like perimenopause. They just use menopause. But menopause is the end of your periods medically when you stop
Gotcha.
for 12 months. Perimenopause is the period where most of the time before menopause, where you're having all those horrible symptoms. And that's when they started with the perimenopause and all those kind of things and divvying it up. It used to have a medical term called climacteric, but it doesn't sound nice. Nobody, not as if menopause, nice, but anyway, but nobody uses it. Nobody understands it. So we go with what people can understand. So if people say menopause, it's still the same thing as far as I'm concerned. It just means you're having hormone shifts, and the hormone
Right.
shifts are natural. And it's time to find help that even if you go to a physician and that you don't get the right help, go to one who does. Don't. And I got to say this, it may sound sexist, and I don't mind being tarred and feathered for it, but try and find a female physician more likely to understand. And if you
Right.
find an older one who has probably been through it, i.e., she's in her mid 40s, then you will get the kind of attention you need. But at the same time, somebody who is supportive and is not just dishing out pills.
Yeah.
Because I've seen young female gynecologists saying, oh, you had tummy trouble, go and see a gastroenterologist. You're not feeling all that well because you're having senior moments, go and see a neurologist. Oh, you're having palpitations, and palpitations is one of those symptoms as well. Yeah, go and see a cardiologist. And they go through all these tests, they come back normal, and you still feel like crap. And the doctor says,
Yeah.
And you have nothing to tell HR departments because they think that you don't have a diagnosis. You must be trying to, skive off work, and you're just at your wits' end because you can't afford not to work.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Everything just compounds, doesn't it? When you don't get what you need. And what I'm hearing you say is really tuning into you and
Yes.
your body
Yeah.
is key so that you can understand. I love how you shared, you know what stress looks like. You've had stress. This is not a new one.
It's almost in
But if
women's
it's
molecules.
right. So it's very much like if these other things that Dr. Teo is talking about, you're sitting here listening, going, ah, check, check. Oh, wait a minute. This is what I need to do. Tune into me. And I really love how you shared, don't listen to what other people are telling you should or shouldn't do. You understand you as an individual and really tune into what's going on for you and then move out from there.
Yes.
Right?
It's such an individual experience because what one woman has, what her onset, her severity, whatever the number of symptoms, they're about, anywhere from 30 to 100 symptoms if you listen to everybody. Why? Because estrogen is in almost every cell of the body. So which means it affects every organ. So it can come out in different ways in different women at different all kinds of intensities. So just because something worked or didn't work for somebody doesn't mean the same thing will happen to you, even though we have broad categorizations. But the whole idea is to have you know what you have, and then customize it to you. You have to have a customized approach. So yeah, go look in Dr. Google, knock yourself out. But is that going to give you a customized solution for you? Very unlikely. It's completely generic. It's based on data. And yes,
Yeah.
data is fine until you become that one data point.
Yeah, I can. And what are the chances that we would be that one data point? Yep.
Yeah. No, that didn't happen to anybody. Okay, that happens to 4 out of 5 people. So what are the 1 out of 5 people?
Yeah. Yeah. So the work that you do then is all around that customization.
Yes, it's customization to make sure that, because what you want to do, the main things I get done is your energy. Your energy is a foundational aspect of life and living. You have no energy, get up and go, and it is shown that energy, zest, is the number one predictor of being successful, of living a good life. If you have no energy, you know what you feel like when you don't have any energy? You feel, I don't feel like getting up. Even the things that you use to soothe yourself don't seem to work anymore because you just don't feel like it. So there has to be that energy, that vitality, that, things going through your body, which make you do things, which get you up the sofa, which gets you doing things that you enjoy. And you don't even have the ability, if you don't have the zest and stamina, to actually enjoy what you're doing. So part of it is, how do you optimize and maximize your energy? That has to be done. Then we also have to look at your brain health. Now, women, let me share with you, women, that part of what happens with menopause is that our brain, unlike that of men, our brain actually shrinks. You lose brain cells if you do nothing. So how can you maintain that? Because most of our energy, the bulk of our energy, goes to our brain. Thinking is heavy work. Why do you think you get brain fog then? Because you're not having enough energy, and therefore it goes to maintain functions that are vital. Thinking is not a vital function, but getting nutrition and running from the enemy is a vital function. So that's where the energy will go, and it takes it away from the brain, and you no wonder why you get brain fog. Thinking is not a survival tactic. Running away from the enemy is. So it conserves that to do the things that are vital for survival. And that's why we have brain fog. So it's important to be able to protect that brain. And we know with modern research that you can regenerate brain cells by opening up new pathways in the brain. Exciting. So you have to do
Exactly.
some things to make sure that your brain and those pathways. So if the A to B is a bit difficult, you can go from A to C to D back to B. Nothing preventing you from doing that, but you can get there. It's not blocked permanently. Your brain has the ability to generate new pathways to get you to where you want to go. And that's the basis of, brain health. Then, of course, as we said in the beginning about stress, it's a brother or whatever. I'll use brother. I like that. It's a brother to the things that are going on in menopause. And if you don't dial back that stress, it prevents the other things from working very well. It affects your sleep, it affects what you eat, it induces cravings. You don't feel like doing the exercise because you're just too, whatever excuses you have. So it's important to have something that will make you, I call it Zen tranquility, without being a Zen monk. So when we could optimize for those three things and do them in tandem, and I'll explain later why I say do them in tandem, but for now, you need to be done in tandem. You can get extraordinary results in a short amount of time.
Wow. Amazing.
So
much gold, right? In everything you just shared, way beyond anything that I have ever heard before. And I've been involved in different groups that have talked about perimenopause, menopause. So thank you so much for sharing all of those details. So empowering.
If we can, if we can understand all of that and support women to get to their best selves, here is one statistic you may want to know, and your viewers out there. 80% of the female top CEOs, according to the Forbes list, are women over 50, which means you have to survive those hormone changes to be able to become a top CEO. Now, if you fall by the wayside, what happens to those dreams of becoming a director or partner of your organization? They fall to nothing. You have to be able to find the resources to get through it, to get there. And next year, they tell us 1 billion women are going to be in perimenopause. That is 1/8 of the world's population, which, okay, is my math okay? 12.5, 13% of the entire population, men, women, and children, is going to be a woman in perimenopause. We can't afford, both individually and for our families and nationally, to be able to lose those people, because that's what happens if they're not attended to. We cannot afford it. Economically, anything, any which way you put it, we can't afford it. As you and I know, and I love your work, women empowerment, renewal, whichever way we can do it. Women, we need to take our right places.
Yeah, exactly. And all of this is when we as individual women globally start doing things for you, by you, because of you, as a person, not thinking about everybody else and I have to make sure everybody else is okay before I look after me. It's put that oxygen mask on first. And it's not our natural intuitive process that we do, but we must change that.
I think we've been bred into it. I think it's been bred into us. I think, they've told us, oh, you're a female, this is what you do. Men don't do that. If you asked him, he'll put on his oxygen mask first. I'm pretty sure of it. So it has been, we've been conditioned, we've been brainwashed. And it's about time that we realize, and there is a physiological reason. I don't know if a lot of people realize why you put on your oxygen mask first. There is a reason. Because in the time which you lose oxygen and you are putting it on, struggling to put the mask on the child, and the child is struggling, the oxygen supply has gone so low, you will pass out. So both of you will go. Now, if you put on your oxygen mask, you're strong, you put on your oxygen mask, you have enough oxygen, you put on the mask on the child, both of you will survive.
Yeah.
And that's a metaphor for practically everything.
Yeah. It truly is. It truly is. In our show notes, Dr. Teo, we do have information that people can access and connect with you. And I believe, and now I can't remember, did you share something else besides just getting in touch with you? Did you share something else? Can't
Yes.
remember. I thought so.
The show notes will give them the URL because that, it's or the website to go to. But
Right.
in this quest we both have of giving women the best they can get, I have this wonderful toolkit for women that they can make the most of in terms of things that will help them with their energy, with their nutrition. And I also have the first chapter of my juicy book, Menopause Mistakes, so that they're going to be able to have an idea of what is ahead of them and what they need to do. And a
Right.
lot of people, instead of bright, shiny objects, which I did, and I've done that for them, I know what. Yes, I was. Listen. I can't even tell you how much time, money, and resources went into that kind of escapade. It was too much. So I said, okay, fine. I'll put it together and make sure they have good guidelines that will at least start that journey. That this
Yeah.
menopause is, you get through menopause, Denise, you know this,
Yeah.
is a time of complete exuberance, revival, renewal. You just said it, renewal, a time of opportunities that you
Yeah.
didn't have when you were younger. Because at this age, Denise, almost you know yourself. You're seated in yourself. You've got
Hmm.
experience. Nobody can BS you for no good reason. You know,
Yeah.
and you know your contributions, and you actually have much more experience and power to make it happen.
Yeah.
So menopause is not something to be feared. We can
No.
stride through it. We can have a nice ride through it, so that because we know at the end of it will be so much better than ever before.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for providing that toolkit to get us started. Make sure you grab that, people. You must grab that. I took a look through it and went, oh my gosh, it's like all kinds of incredible gifts within that. So do not skim over that. It is gold. So grab that toolkit. Dr. Teo, is there anything you would like to share before we finish our conversation today? I should have you back because I know there's all kinds of other things that we can be moving into and talking about, but we won't talk about that. But is there anything that you want to make sure our listeners leave today knowing or thinking about or doing as a next step, besides reaching out and saying, help?
Yeah, just knowing that in this phase of menopause, which is we know is caused by hormones, that's the root problem, that hormones are a messenger. And because they're a messenger, we can be the boss of those hormones. And it's time to be the boss of those hormones and not allow your body or any other person to be the boss. You're the boss of those hormones because there's so much more to look forward to on the other side.
Beautiful. And make sure you do this for you, by you, because of you. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing so much knowledge. This is going to go out far and wide. I can't wait to hear how people experience the conversation we've had and see what they decide they're going to do to take back control of their lives, because it really is in the palm of their hand. And so thank you again for being here with us today. Make sure you check the show notes, grab that toolkit that Dr. Teo has provided. If you are not on my newsletter list, grab a spot in my newsletter because there's some special stuff happening in there.
Absolutely.
Right? And those of you who have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do. You do not want to miss any of these incredible conversations and powerhouse people that I get to share time with during our For You, By You, Because of You, Redefining the Significance of You time. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And thank you again, Dr. Teo. Take care. Bye.